What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the arena with SEADUB. It's your boy SEADUB right here. Man, what's on my mind today is what we're going to talk about today is passions, y'all. You know, when you do something that you're passionate about, it's a lot easier to spend that time on it, right? So when we follow our passions, we're not looking at the clock. We're not sitting there and measuring the hours, counting the minutes. You don't need distractions. You know, you don't have to listen to music the whole time to do it, or listen to podcasts even. Or for me, I really like audiobooks, you know. But when I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, I'm not sitting here and having to justify how I'm spending the time. A lot of the situations in today's world, you know, they're trying to drain the passions out of us, right? When you sit there and you work at the job and stuff, or, you know, you're doing a whole bunch of things that you don't like, it's easy to forget about those things that you're passionate about, because at the end of the day, you just come home and you try to numb yourself and numb your mind and all of that. But I'm here to tell you, you cannot give up on your passion. And for a lot of people, they can think about the shit that they were interested in as a child, right? What were your childlike curiosities and stuff? Creativity. That's one of the first things to go. And I don't even think the workplace takes that from us. I think it's probably along with the modern schooling system and stuff, you know, it's not encouraging you to think for yourself. It's not encouraging you to, you know, really think about the possibilities and stuff. It's all about making sure you always have the right answer. But the right answer is not always the key, because in this world, there's 1,000 different ways to skin the cat. And on the subject of creativity, right, it's just how much of the time is getting spent thinking about the things that you would like the most and the things that you want the most and how to achieve that. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you've never even thought about it, where does the first step lie? You know, because you have to have some sort of idea to form a plan. You know, and if you get to know me on here, the truth is I'm not promoting this YouTube channel through any of the particular means, you know, as far as social media. I was somewhere today and they regarded me as a local celebrity. Well, I find that as an interesting term or remark, because where I'm at is a small place, but I'm definitely trying to do things that are making waves and, you know, doing things I definitely will be remembered for and remembered by. But the most important thing to me is that what type of change can I help other people make in their lives as far as their goals, things they want to accomplish, who they want to be, right? It'll be easy to remember me as somebody that made an impact locally, because I'm trying to make an impact in others, not myself. You know, if it was just all about me, I'd probably go about things differently. But, you know, I'm very selfless in what I do, and, you know, a lot of the times it's for free or for less. But, you know, of course, I'm making some changes as far as how those things are done in my upcoming venture. And let's talk about creativity in the realm of my upcoming venture as well. And I'm not speaking for myself on that, but, you know, somebody that's trying to make the most out of themselves in an executive standpoint, or, you know, in a career basis, you know, you have to be creative to know how to do things in a way that others aren't thinking about, right? A visionary has a target that other people can't see. So you have to have vision, you have to have ideas, and all of that is important shit for being a leader in leadership. You can't be a leader without a vision and an idea for what you want. And if you can't see the vision and the ideas, how the fuck are you supposed to ever make somebody else see what the idea and vision is supposed to be? You won't. Because if you can't see it yourself, how the fuck are you going to sit there and tell somebody else how to do it? You know, and let me loop this back to what we started with about passions, right? You know, I had a talk with a very close friend of mine, and we were on the discussion of passions, because he does something that he's very passionate about. He actually had to go to school for it, which, you know, it's a rarity that people go to school nowadays and follow what they were passionate about all the way to the T and see it through into the actual career zone. But, you know, he's done that. And he was talking to me about the hardships of what he does. And I'm like, listen, man, sometimes it may be hard doing these things, but you have to look at it as a blessing, because you're not just out here doing anything. You're doing what you always wanted to do. And there's people that would definitely come and take that from you that don't want it as bad, because in this modern era, motherfuckers will do anything. Look, having passion is a blessing. And if you are blessed to be in a position to where you're doing something that you're passionate about, you don't need to give it up, because I've been in situations that were completely a blessing to me. And you know, it's came out of the blue for me to be able to do these things that I'm passionate about in the past. And I've given that shit up. And you will spend so much time regretting that you gave up on those things that you were passionate about, that you didn't see it through to the end, that you quit whenever the hard times were there. Man, don't give up if you're in a position that you can do something that you're passionate on, because those opportunities are not just out there. Sometimes they happen and they don't really come back around, or it's going to take you a long time to get back into a situation where you can live based off of your passions. And with that said, you know, if you're doing something passionate, don't give it up. And you know, if you have to fight for it, fight hard. You know, because life is going to be a fight, and you're going to have to fight for the things that you want. And there's nothing that's going to come that's worthwhile, that's not worth fighting for, guys. This has been The Arena with SEADUB. Hopefully I'm not talking in circles too much to y'all. Y'all have a nice day.